I've never said this out loud before, not because people wouldn't believe me, but because talking about it feels like inviting it back. This happened 5 years ago. I was working as an intern for an architecture firm that specialized in restorations. One day, we were assigned to inspect an old psychiatric hospital that had been shut down since the 1970s. The place was called Valley of the Wind Sanatorium, a huge, forgotten building deep in the woods. We arrived on a gray morning, light rain falling nonstop since the night before. There were 3 of us, me, a senior architect named Alvaro, and an engineer taking notes. Our job was simple: check the building's condition and see if it could be renovated or if it needed to be demolished. At first, everything felt pretty normal. Cracked walls, ceilings falling apart, old patient records scattered on the floor. But then, something odd. The blueprint showed 6 main doors in the east wing, where the isolation rooms were. But in the hallway, there were 7. The 7th door had no number, just a dark stain on peeling paint. It looked older than the rest, like no one had touched it in decades. Alvaro shrugged it off. Probably just a construction error or an undocumented maintenance room, he said, pushing the door. It wouldn't budge. No handle, either. If it's not on the plans, we don't care, he added, walking away. But I couldn't stop staring at it. There was something wrong about that door. When I passed close to it, I felt the temperature drop, like something cold, alive, was watching from the other side. That night, I couldn't sleep. We returned the next day to finish inspecting the west wing. But before we left, I went back to that hallway. Alone, curiosity burned in me. It was exactly 3:30 a.m. I remember clearly because I was tracking everything in a notebook, including time. The hospital had a superstition. That 3:33 a.m. came the hour of the voiceless screamers. Just an old joke from former patients. According to a file we'd found on day 1, at exactly 3:33, I swear on everything I have, the 7th door clicked, and it opened, very, very slowly, like something was gently pushing it open from the inside. I couldn't help it. I stepped in. The room was pitch black. No windows. Just a rusted bed, a chair, and a ceiling lamp swaying on its own. But that wasn't the worst part. The walls were covered in scratch marks, deep grooves from fingernails, like someone had been trying to claw their way out. For years. Then I heard something. A whisper right next to my ear, even though the room was empty. Close the door. I spun around, terrified. The door was still open, but it was slowly starting to close on its own. I ran, caught it just in time, and stumbled out. The next day was our last visit. Alvaro said he'd spoken with the hospital's last director, a man in his 90s. When he mentioned the 7th door, the old man went pale. He said the room didn't exist on paper because it was never supposed to. It had been sealed off after a string of unexplained deaths. Patients were found with their eyes and mouths sewn shut, fingernails torn out, and the strangest part? Each had been transferred to that room without authorization. No one ever figured out how they got there. The director had the door sealed with concrete, but someone must have reopened it years later, or something inside did. When we asked if he remembered the original room number, the old man just said it never had a number. We only knew it opened at 3:33. That was the last time I ever stepped foot in that place. The project was canceled. The building demolished, or so they say. Because a few weeks ago, someone uploaded a video online exploring the hospital ruins. At the end of the video, there's a hallway, 6 numbered doors, and at the end, a 7th unmarked. The camera shakes just before reaching it, and you can hear a faint click, like something inside is still waiting.